How do you ruin a funeral by bringing only one item? Get well soon balloon. I had an aunt who brought her boyfriend to her husband's funeral. Her husband had killed himself. So, I'm going with bringing a lover to your spouse's funeral. Those plastic clapping hands. And a vuvuzela. A laugh track soundboard. Seinfeld theme included. I mean, what is the deal with funerals, right? Vium bom boo 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 dum badum bap edit thanks. Why do they call it a wake? This guy looks asleep. You can do literally anything as long as you follow it with the words "it's what they told me they wanted." Hashtag X200B. Edit, you guys have a fixation with 3-foot dildos. A giant framed picture of someone else. Bonus points if the picture is of yourself. 1 up if it's of yourself hanging out with the dead person's former enemy. Edit, how TF did this get 5.2k upvotes? 2 up if it's a nude self-portrait. 3 up if it's a nude painting of them. 4 up if it's a nude picture of you and the deceased with nooses around your neck making a suicide joke. 5 up if it's not a painting, but a sculpture made out of the deceased body. 6 up if you hang yourself and the dead body from the ceiling. Chip said it me first ever medals. Thank you for the gold and silvers. Munches during the eulogy. My friend's biggest pet peeve is people eating crisps on public transport. She texts me raging about it fairly regularly. She would have an aneurysm if she was at a funeral and someone did this. And then I'd do it at her funeral, just to rub it in. Do you want vengeful spirits haunting you from beyond the grave? Because, that's how you get vengeful spirits haunting you from beyond the grave. My mom took us to McDonald's just prior to my grandmother's funeral. At the time, they had Lion King toys that made the animal sounds that they represented. My sister was 4 and no one thought to take the very noisy toy off her before the service, so there was a hyena cackling during this very solemn time before someone could confiscate it. Ruined the mood, but in a very uplifting way. McDonald's. McDonald's. One those helmets with dual beer dispensers on the sides. He was number 1. A good SpongeBob reference is always a pleasant surprise. Googly eyes. Put them over the dead person's eyes as you solemnly tell everyone it's an important ritual in your religion that allows the deceased spirit to see their way to the other side. Does anyone know if I can ensure this is done to me when I die? Could probably add it to your will. On my screen it looks like you replied before the person above you posted their comment. Time travelers are taking over Reddit. Air horn. Vuvuzela. That's how you ruin everything. As someone who owns a vuvuzela, I can confirm that it does in fact ruin everything. Good for beating little siblings though. Is a clown suit one item? Because I've got an idea. Edit, why? You can't spell funeral without FUN. You are now a moderator of Vermorlians. Can you explain this reference? We put the fun in funeral. n.m.wikipedia.org. Another casket with a body. Sorry Mr. Baker, we had another little mix-up at the parlor. This is the real one, I promise it this time. Since you already have the hole dug, you mind if we throw one more in it? A Grim Reaper costume. My dad actually wants a Grim Reaper at his funeral. Standing in the corner. Saying nothing. I might use a mannequin TBH. Takes notes for my future will. Bring the mistress. That happened to a family friend. His mother had died 2 years prior, then when his father passed away, the mistress came to the funeral. She sat in the very back and the grown children did not make a fuss. The father and mistress had been seeing each other for 30 years. She was in her 60s when he died. The family was very civilized about it because everyone knew, but simply didn't talk about it. Good on her too for kinda staying in the background. Confetti. Bring in a truck of it. Pretend it's the body until it's halfway in and they're going to bury it and they open it up, Then inside Teresa giant confetti cannon, time to fire at them at that exact moment. Never done this before, but I think it will have quite an effect. Edit, thanks for silver. Also, how do you give silver? The fact that this is similar to how my dad asked to be buried. But he just wanted some confetti cannons attached inside the coffin in a way so that when it was open they would shoot out confetti. Can I be buried with your dad? A congratulations balloon. A well done balloon at a cremation. Bring copies of the deceased's browser history. They're already dead. You don't need to murder them too. Yes, you've already had first death. What about second death? 11s? A 6 feet cardboard cutout of Nicolas Cage. They said ruin, not improve. Slide whistle. Edit, neat, my first gold award. Thanks to whoever sent it as well as the upvoters commenters. Blow it as the casket is being lowered. Bring the murderer. Walks in with a tube of cancer. Cigarette? Nah. Glitter. Sprinkle it on the dead person's face. I'd say putting out a cigarette on the deceased is way more dramatic. Try vacuuming glitter from a dead person's face. It isn't easy. Ghostbusters outfit. A necromancer. I would consider a funeral ruined if the person wakes up again. I would consider a funeral ruined awake, however. The other half of the body. Hashtag X200B. Holy crap, WTF happened, thanks for the gold. Barbecue sauce, but it only works if you keep hungrily eyeing the casket and asking questions like, is anyone else starving? Bring a flamethrower to get the cremation process started early. Well, one way to ruin a funeral would be to do an unboxing video for YouTube. A bop at extreme. Pull out a karaoke machine and start singing along with I'm Walking on Sunshine. If people try to stop you, act confused and shout, man, this place is dead. That is kinda normal here in the Philippines. The deceased's favorite dildo. Bring a large cleaver and ask what cuts they want. Bring a kazoo. Bringing a megaphone bullhorn and repeating everything the officiant says. Wetsuit. Just imagine everyone grieving and you see some dude fresh out of the ocean with his snorkel still on. I'm getting someone to do this at my funeral. A dirt bike and just sit there revving it. How to ruin anything, probably including a dirt bike race. A snare drum and cymbals so I can do a rim shot every time the speaker says something nice about the deceased. Bring your waifu body pillow and I'm sure people will have some choice words about it. Don't give me that look. Hanako-chan needs to grieve, too. Get a custom-made waifu pillow where she's wearing black veil and negligee to truly set the mood. Ouija board. A Luigi board? Vega board? Waveg board. I legit went to a funeral where someone showed up late and blamed traffic. It was for someone who died in a car accident. Sorry I'm late, guys. Traffic was murder. Wearing headphones. People would go crazy, they will lose their shit. When the last rites is going on and you're listening to some songs on full blast and music is leaking out. The exact object they were killed with, if they were killed. Whips out tumor. Should have thought of that before he died.